Abhigya, you've grown so much over the years, and now you become a very handsome boy.
Thank you, Shishian.
So this is the first time to Taiwan, right?
This is my first time to Taiwan, yes.
So far, how do you feel about Taiwan?
I just love this place, the country, the people, the values, the democratic values, and the society here, the infrastructure. Everything is just very nice and very organized, and the friendliness is something I haven't seen in other countries. I've been to several other countries around the world, but this is something very friendly about the people here, and I've so far enjoyed my stay.
Okay, and what's your main purpose of this visit?
I am going to be speaking at the Asia Blockchain Summit on the 6th and the 7th of August, sharing my insights on the future of technology in relation to blockchain, artificial intelligence, and through an astrological lens. So that's the main purpose.
Do you know you have many fans, believers, and followers in Taiwan?
Yes.
They are all very curious about you. Would you like to share more about yourself?
Of course, I would love to. Yes.
Okay, first, would you like to talk about your family background?
Of course. So I come from a Vedic, following family, a family that follows Vedic values. So the Vedic system is a very ancient system of moral code and conduct in Bharat or India. It's one of the oldest forms of civilization. So we follow that specific method of life, and my family has been following that for many generations. We avoid harming other living beings, and we follow a concept called ahimsa. I have a little sister, and I have my father and mother, and they live in the southern part of India. I live in Bengaluru and Mysore, and we have some cows, and I love studying astrology. I've been homeschooled so far. My parents homeschooled me from a very young age, and we study scriptures, different type of scriptures, and I also do research at home on my own. I studied astrology since age 11 with the help of my parents. They gave me the first, they gave me inspiration to go and do it. They do not know astrology or any other, Vedic science in a very deep detail, yet they gave me the opportunities to study these sciences.
Okay. Yeah. I heard that you've lived in many countries. Is that true?
Yes, I have lived in Germany for 2 years. I lived in Australia for 1.5 years. When I was an infant, when I was a little child, I lived in Finland and Canada for 1.5 years. My father was working there.
So how many languages can you use?
I was 8-year-old when I was in Germany and 9-year-old when I was in Australia. So I used to speak German, but then I forgot it because I stopped speaking it after a very long time.
But you can understand what
I can understand a very little bit, But I speak Sanskrit, which is one of the oldest languages in the world. I speak Tamil. I read and write Tamil, which is one of the oldest languages in the world, Kannada, Hindi, and I also speak Sindhi. Yes.
Your other family members, do they make predictions as well?
No, I'm the only person in the whole family who studied this. Yes.
Your sister, she doesn't?
My sister is into Vedic medicine and Ayurveda, which is a traditional healing science, and she's also studying other, sciences alongside. So she's going towards the medicine field, and I'm going towards the astrology and astronomy field.
And how did you get interested in Vedic astrology?
Yeah, so I was studying Vedic philosophy first. I also was very skeptical towards astrology when I was a child. No one forced me to study astrology. Me and my mother were just studying Vedic philosophy because we were very interested in spirituality. The room next to the place where they were teaching philosophy, there was a little class going on teaching the basics of astronomy and astrology. So I was curious and I asked my mother, can I please study that, and can I please, I was quite curious about it. So I went into that room, and then we spoke with those people. They were reluctant to teach me, but then later on they agreed, and I began to study little by little, and very soon I had read over 15 different scriptures related to astrology end to end. I was able to understand it through Sanskrit, and then I started to teach it after 4 years of studies. So yeah, it has been a long process.
I remember you precisely predicted the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes.
How did you make it?
So that was a mix of data and intuition. So on one side, I had a lot of data about the world. I was just going through a long list of events in the world for the last 2,000 years, different diseases, different wars, epidemics, pandemics, and correlating those to planetary combinations. And then one day when I was just sitting in my terrace, I was just finished my morning meditation and coming down when something just struck me that there is probably some dangerous event that is about to happen to the world. Then I just made a video. I named it Severe Danger to the World between November 2019 and April 2020, and I published that video on the 19th of August 2019, which is 6 months or 8 months before the pandemic. So that video went viral later on because I had talked about a world war or a pandemic in that. I gave two possibilities, but one thing was clear, that there would be severe danger to the world.
Besides using astrology, do you have some other skill to predict?
Yes.
Special skill?
Yes, so I think it's
You
just
got
intuition.
Intuition?
Yeah, intuition, it helps because when you meditate a lot, your mind comes to a stable phase when you're able to see things with clarity. But at the same time, nothing is very clear. So you have to use calculations, and you also have to meditate on the possibilities of those calculations. And so the basic premise is that planets and celestial combinations in the sky, the hypothesis of astrology is that planets and celestial combinations in the sky have an impact on the Earth. So that is our hypothesis, and that's how we function.
What kind of predictions can you make by astrology? I've been seeing you predict like natural disasters, politics, economics, and diseases. Is that the full range of prediction you can make?
Yes, I do make predictions for global events. Like as you mentioned, natural disasters, I've predicted a few of them. I've predicted certain wars like the Russia-Ukraine war and the Israel-Hamas war. 4 days before it happened, I predicted the Israel-Hamas war as well. And I've also predicted the pandemic and a few other things. And alongside, I also predict for individuals and companies as well around the world. So I'm a consultant, and I direct several operations for different companies around the world, and I help them understand the landscape of the economy through an astrological lens to understand things better.
So you can predict specific countries' future.
I can if I try, but at the same time, I do not have a crystal ball, and I cannot be 100% correct at everything. I can try to increase the accuracy rate, definitely more accurate than just a guess. But the thing is that I don't have a 100% accuracy in predictions. I can reach 80 to 90% accuracy.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to ask you. The accuracy rate is about how much?
My accuracy rate is above 80% most of the time. And there is a rumor in Taiwan that some people think, most people do believe that these predictions have been made accurately, but some people think that I make many predictions and one of them comes right. But I'd like to counter that saying I only make 4 to 5 predictions in an entire year, and out of that 5 predictions come correct and 1 is not fully correct, nor is it wrong. So that is my accuracy rate.
Yeah. Some people did criticize you for your inaccuracy because take example like World War III never happened yet.
Correct.
How did you respond to your critics?
Yeah, so I'm not God, and I cannot be 100% right. If I know everything about the future, then I can be God, right? So I'm not God. That's the first point. Second point is that when I saw a negative planetary combination, I felt that there will be severe danger to the world. So I was focusing on that. So what is severe danger? There are 2 possibilities. One is a major war, or the other possibility is lots of people dying from a disease. So I talked about both possibilities because I was not sure. So I said there can either be a major war or there can be a major disease. So what happened in that time frame was a disease. The reason why astrology is more accurate is that other people, like the World Economic Forum, and other global federations, they were saying 2020 will be a very great year. But astrology was the only science, in my video as I explained, to predict that 2020 would be a dangerous year. So while I did not get the exact thing, and I did not say the exact thing very clearly, I myself had a doubt what kind of danger it was. I was very sure that there will be danger in 2020 March.
Okay. Can you predict the future of a certain person?
Definitely. If you can predict about the world, which is a macrocosm, you can predict about a person, which is a microcosm.
Used by intuition or by
birth data.
Astrology?
Yes, by birth data. So the hypothesis of astrology, the basic premise is that the planets at the time of your birth, exactly at that moment, because that moment is so significant when one takes the first breath, becomes a new individual. The planetary influences that surround you at the time of your birth affect you. That is the hypothesis of astrology. And using the birth data, we create a horoscope, and that horoscope is used to make predictions about individuals. And a similar thing can be done for countries. We make charts for countries like for example, China, Taiwan, India, Europe, and all of these countries, and we predict for them. And we can also predict for corporations, companies, anybody, anything.
You are over million KOL, follower over millions. I believe many people would like to see you, even went to India to see you. Do you charge people who come to you for readings?
So it depends. Most of the people whom I consult a lot of people from poor backgrounds, and I don't charge anything to them. If people come for spiritual questions or just purely non-profit questions, like for example, how to help the world and what can I do to help the world. For example, they are an NGO, I don't charge anything. But if somebody asks a question that is related to a profit-making thing, for example, if they say, how can I become better at my work and how can I get a promotion, or what will happen to me next year related to my wealth, then of course there is a fee for everything, because I have to spend my time and my energy in studying their horoscope. So there is a fee, but I don't advertise my services, or I don't advertise my consultations. Whoever comes, they come, and if they want to come, they can come. Yeah.
Okay. Astrology and prediction will become your profession.
It is part of what I do, not exactly. I also consult several sustainable energy companies, and I also manage certain businesses, and at the same time I also teach different subjects. Like for example, I teach Sanskrit, the language Sanskrit. I teach traditional ways of interpreting ancient texts. I also teach astrology. I also teach mathematical astrology. So I teach and I also consult. In my free time, I do some consultations and I teach also.
So you would like to become a teacher?
Yeah, in the sense a teacher. I teach 1,000 students from around the world, and I have 100 researchers working with me who are teaching as well, and I have an institute that consults people, that teaches people, and I also author books. So I'm currently writing some books.